Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to another Marvel vs. System 2-player card game. This is for the Frightful, Volume 3, Issue number 6 in the first family arc. So this is the third of the set. The first one we went over was a giant-sized issue set that had the Fantastic Four and the Frightful enemies. We got some of the core Frightful Four, Doctor Doom, some of them. And then in the second set, we got the Silver Surfer and a bunch of the Heralds of Galactus. Kind of and other Fantastic Four allies that kind of work with that. And then this is we're getting more of the Frightful crew. That's what it says here on the side. The Frightful include a dastardly list of evildoers that have crossed paths with the Fantastic Four. Such would not be complete without the insatiable devourer of the worlds and the master of heralds, Galactus, and a time-traveling tyrant, Kang the Conqueror, commencing a complete epic deck of destruction. So cool, we're going to get that. We, of course, have our rule sheet, but we're only going to reference it when we need to. Now, unfortunately, I did lose my original video of doing this, because I usually try and do these right when I get the boxes. So I have all my cards sleeved, but it'll work the exact same way. So we're going to go ahead and hop right into these. So we're going to start off here. We have our first main character. We have Annhilus, the Lord of the Negative Zone. You can include up to 2 negative zone locations in your deck. So those would have been from the base set. Or the other Fantastic Four set. Yeah. I was just seeing if it said anything else. He's listed on there. It says, the living death that walks. Level up 10. When Annihilus attacks, strikes, stuns, wounds, or KOs defending enemy characters in combat, he gains that many XP. When he levels up, shuffle this card into its owner's deck. Interesting. So he can potentially keep coming back. But yeah, he attacks, strikes, any enemy characters. Basically does anything. He's going to come back. Cool. And then he levels up from 3-4 to 7-7. Launch Invasion Force. Build Strength. Search your hand and your deck for Annihilation Wave supporting character and put it onto your side. So I'm going to find that quick and we can take a look at that. Yes, we have Polking Annihilus, and it's continuous rip. If Annihilus would be KO'd by a wound, you may reveal his level 1 card from your hand. If you do, he is not wounded, and instead, shuffle his level 1 card into your deck. So it's kind of neat. So he comes out up into level 2. Then eventually you can find this card. It basically lets him survive an extra hit. And as long as you can keep finding that card, you can potentially keep him alive forever. But yeah, I wonder if that means that... So the only way to technically beat him, because you could drop your opponent down to 1 card. If that's the last card in their deck, but the thing is then they draw it. So basically you have to KO him in between, like, hit him, they have to discard, or shuffle it back into their deck, and then you have to take them out again before they had a chance to draw it again. So we're going to look at the Annihilation Wave right away, just because they specified it. So 3 costs. Supporting character has flying and swarm. You have any number of Annihilation Waves on your side. This power can't be turned off. So there's only 4 in the deck. But this does definitely mean they can always make more later on. 5-3 for 1 health. An unending wave of ships and bugs. At the start of your build phase, you may put an Annihilation Wave supporting character from your KO pile on your side. Okay, like Annihilus kind of works with. It's going to be hard to take these guys down. As long as you can keep one out, they can keep bringing back the other ones. Pretty cool. Alright, then we're going to look at Galactus, who's at level 1 here. He's a 5-5. The Hunger that does not cease. At the start of your build phase, you may discard a location if you don't wound Galactus. So basically, if he doesn't eat a location each turn, he's going to take a wound. But it's Cosmic Hunger, level up 6. At the end of each of your turns, Galactus gains XP for each location in your KO pile. So yeah, you don't want to wound him too much, but you also kind of have to level him up. But even if you only did one, you just have to wait 6 turns to level him up. You did 2, it would take less turns. Interesting. Plus, I guess there's not really any other way. There might be other ways to get them in there as well. Always up, he goes up to 7/7. And he has same Hunger is Not Cease ability as the Pillager of Planets level up 3. A good Herald of Galactus appears on your side. Galactus gains 1 XP. When an evil Herald of Galactus appears on your side, gains 2 XP. That's a really cool effect because it does fit that the Heralds aren't inherently always evil. That you can be good ones like Silver Surfer, but he's still always listed as a Herald. Plus, the previous set Heralds had some other ones like Nova. They were also good. And again, this also opens up for future sets. They can make some characters that might be listed as good as well. But he does get a 3rd level. He becomes a 10/10. Summon Herald. Play a blue and a red. If you have a Herald of Galactus on your side, search your deck for one. If you don't have one, search your deck for one, reveal it, and put it onto your side. Devour Worlds. Main space. KO location and heal a wound from Galactus. So this is kind of a hint spoiler. So like at the time this set came out, I would have said, oh, this is really hard to find the space ones because they're only included in either the Alien Predator sets or in the, and if you didn't want to get them really on Marvel, it's only located in the it's the Monster big box set. Now I forgot the exact name of it. But yeah, it's a big box, like four groups of like monsters. But so it was a harder one to get because it was always in a big box set. Now having to redo this video later on, they've released more Fantastic Four and Frightful sets, and in those sets they actually put in space and Earth cards, so it makes cards like this easier to get. Plus they work well with these decks as well, so that's really cool. Alright, and let's look at our last main character. We have Kang the Conqueror. Immeasurable Identities. He's a 2/5 with 5 health. In this game, Kang's supporting characters you own are main characters instead. These are the conquerors who change the world. Level up 5. When an enemy character gets killed, Kang gains XP. Gains an XP. Yeah, so the effects last the whole game. Even if you're starting Kang main characters KO'd, as long as you have any main characters, you don't lose the game. So every time you can pull a supporting Kang character after the first one, it basically gives you extra lives. So that's pretty cool. And then we're going to jump into his level 2, which brings him up to 310. So he gets a little bit more defensive. Light of the Centuries. Pay a blue, yellow, and red. Shuffle each resource into its owner's deck. Then choose a number 1 to 10. Each player puts that many cards on the top of their deck, face down to the resource row. If any other locations, they may place them face up instead. Kang can only use the power once per game. Interesting. So it semi kind of resets the board. You keep, because you can like, basically you could have a lot less resources than somebody else, and you could shut down, like, basically get rid of all theirs. Or you could basically, like, I need a lot. I know I have a lot of locations left in my deck I haven't used yet. And you could try and get all of them out really quick. So, it'd be, yeah, kind of an interesting little twist there. And then plus what's neat about his later ability here is that as we have more Kang cards throughout the games, as they come out, adds more opportunities to use that card. Alright, so let's jump into our main cards. So, like Annihilation Wave and the rest of these, we have 4 copies of each card. So I won't have to keep repeating that. But we're going to start with Red Shift. So this is the only Fantastic Four themed character in this set. Everyone else is Frightful. This is a Herald of Galactus as well. You pay 1 less to recruit Galactus supporting characters. Cosmic Combat Master. Enemy players can't play plot twist during combat. That's pretty neat. And we have Kang. We have the Tomorrow War. At the start of the game, before players draw their opening hands, they secretly choose a future date. Kang can't appear unless it's that date. Time will tell. Kang has the attack and defense equal to the feature gate, and Swarm, you have any number of Kangs on your side, power can't be turned off. So basically, you can have all these guys come out, but they cost 0, but they can't come out until that specific time. So, what it says in the rules here, pick a single feature gate before players draw their opening hands in a set. Is represented by a whole number from 1 to 10. It counts as being that gate. So if you pick 7 as your feature gate, Kang can only appear when you have exactly 7 resources. On the bright side, he's free. Note, if you forget this feature gate at the beginning of the game, acts as though it chooses 10s. If you can't remember it, then it's going to take you twice as long. All should be equal to his attack and defense. Doesn't matter how many resources you currently have. Time will tell locks in when you select the feature gate before it begins. Yeah, so it's kind of like this, right? And this works for all of them, though. If you're like, oh, I want to get him out really quick, so I could have him come out on turn 2, or when I have 2 resources out. Boom, I can get all these swarm guys out very quickly. Or again, you could say, I don't really have a good 5-cost character. Make him your 5-cost. And now you can play him. Again, it's saying, though, even if turn 5 passes and you haven't drawn him, and now it's, or let's say you pick 2 and you don't draw him until turn 4, he doesn't now get to come out for 4 attacking defense. He's always going to be 2 no matter what. Yeah, it's a very interesting mechanic. Alright, we have the Fallen One. He's another Herald of Galactus, so 1 less to recruit Galactus supporting characters. So I can take all these Heralds from this set and the last set. You can even just make Galactus easier to play. He's also a Herald of Thanos, so he's going to pay 1 less to recruit Thanos, so that's kind of cool. And Fallen Herald. When the Fallen One strikes Galactus or Thanos, stun that character. So it's very interesting because he can help either one of them guys come out cheaper, but he also likes to attack either one of them. I love little things like that. It's not going to be super useful. Either any of those effects can be super useful unless you're playing against or with one of those other 2 characters, but it fits thematically. We have Airwalker, who's also Herald of Galactus. The Horn of Galactus. Pay a reg. Pay 1 less to recruit Galactus supporting characters this turn. Airwalker may use this power any number of times on your turn. So here you can actually make him a lot cheaper. We have a non-Herald here. We have Hyperstorm, an endless supply of energy. Galactus loses the hunger that does not cease. So he does work with Galactus, though. The Supreme Power. Hyperstorm has all the printed superpowers of all face-up characters. That's pretty bad. Plus, yeah, then you can stop. So now, this could be used with or against Galactus because you could... So yeah, if you're playing with him, right, for the first one, right, it stops him from having to keep eating stuff, which is really nice. So this side, it's not bad, but if you had him out right away, you start at level 1, it'd be, unless you put something in there, he's not going to level up as much. So it's definitely going to be helpful. Here we go, we have Stardust, another Herald of Galactus, and Ethereal, or Ethereal, depending on how you pronounce it. Blue, when Stardust gets KO'd by an enemy character, remove her from the build, or from the game. At the start of your next build phase, put her onto your side. Cool, so kind of like a reoccurring character that comes back. That's really neat. Plus very powerful, but only 1 hit point. We have the Maker, who of course, evil Reed Richards from the Ultimate Universe. Multiversal omnipresence. You may include up to 5 different equipment without invention in your invention pile. Only the Maker can invent them. The Stroke of Genius. At the start of your turn, draw a card, or the Maker creates an invention. Yeah, so it's kind of, they must be, so we got a little text for this one. 5 equipment cards. They must be different cards, the same name with different game text. It's fine, because sometimes you get like the Infinity Stone or something on 5 different versions. And can already have the keyword invention. You can also include copies of the equipment in your deck if you like, and the copies in your invention pile don't count against them. For example, you can have a one-of-a-kind equipment in your deck and the same one in your invention pile. So that's kind of neat. He can break some of those rules. Note, while the maker can invent those equipment, you can still only play them if you meet the requirements. For example, if he makes the Hydra Cosmic Cube and puts it into your hand, you can't play it unless you have a character with Hydra on your side. So yes, he can break the 1 per game effect, although you'd have to personally buy multiple copies of a set to get 2 copies of a multiple thing. Because that if there's ever a card that's 1 per deck, the boxes only include 1 copy. Yeah, that's gonna be really neat. You can make a bunch of extra stuff. Makes equipment a little bit more interesting. We have Terax the Tamer, Herald of Galactus, of course. They really should have not called this the Frightful. Like the last one was the Heralds. This also seems like it's also the Heralds, but they could have almost called this like the Hunger of Galactus. There's not really a whole lot of other non-Galactus characters in this set. But it's what it is. Cosmic Geokinesis. Pay a green, move all 1/1 counters on all sides onto a character of your side, then double the number of 1/1 counters on them. So basically, ultra buff 1 character. It's pretty cool. I'm going to drop these down. We got a couple more cards. We have Morag the Executioner. The Herald Ordeal. When Morag appears, you may stun an enemy Herald of Galactus supporting character. Because he didn't like them. And then he's also a Herald as well. He has Executioner. Combat Red. If Morag is melee attacking an exhausted defender, he has Ferocious and strikes a triple attack this combat. And Ferocious as well in combat. He gets to strike before characters without Ferocious. And then our last supporting character is Galactus himself. And now you can see why you need all them Heralds to help summon him. Because he costs 12. But he has 30 attack and 30 defense and 7 health. So he is going... Basically, he's a supporting character. It's going to be really hard to take down. Scour the Universe. Galactus can only appear when he is recruited. And only while there is a Herald of Galactus on your side. So you can't have some other effect that lets you play a character for free or cheats him in some way. Cosmic Entity. Galactus is unaffected by burn, freeze, immobile, and effect, and the monster of all worlds. At the start of your main phase, you may name a location. If you do, remove each card in that name everywhere in the game. So basically, by the time you play him, you really don't care about your locations anymore. Well, you can at least try and slowly stop your opponent by getting something like the Academy, and it gets rid of all the academies. Training center, get rid of all the training centers. You can at least slowly get rid of them. Now, unfortunately, I don't think you can get rid of the face-down ones, but it can stop your opponents from playing superpowers against you. But it says also a little extra text here, just to make sure that. To do this, each player reveals their hand deck resources, including face-down ones, KO pile, and any out-of-game piles. So yeah, the fact that they're face down hurts you too, because that way if you played them already, you can't worry about flipping them back up. Plus, it just denies you the general resource of them. So eventually you're going to get stuck only being able to play cards from your hand. That's pretty devastating. But yeah, we had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6 Heralds just in this set, and there's probably like 5 or 6 in the other set. So I mean, if you played like 6 of them like right in a row, and each one made them cheaper, and all of a sudden Galactus, by the time you get 6 or 7 points, I guess by the time you got him out, you'd have to have 8. But if you played 1 every turn, like a 2 turn, a 3 turn, a 4 turn, up to 8, by the time you got that 8th one out, now Galactus only costs 4. You can definitely afford him. And our last card is we have the 4 copies of the Power Cosmic in combat. And this does not belong to any group, which is kind of cool. If you have a supporting characters on your side with a combat cost of 8 or more, stunning enemy supporting characters in combat with 7 or less. If you have a main character on your side with level 3 or more, stunning enemy main character with 2 or less. So basically, if you have powerful guys, you can stop one other character on the other side. And there are a decent number of level 3 main characters, but there's not one for every single version. So I wouldn't count on that being what you're... I mean, you can count on it because you can have a level 3, but you just gotta hope that your opponent doesn't then play one that also gets up to level 3 at the same time. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That is the Frightful. Here's just the deck list as a reminder for everyone. The Power Cosmic being up there at the top. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit me up in the comments. Catch you guys later. Bye.